This is discussion board 9 for Linux class. Linux is an open source. Does that mean it's free? What, if any, trouble can someone get into if they choose to share, gift, or sell a Linux distro? Are there any requirements? What do you think of the open source model? So, first of all, Linux is open source. Doesn't mean it's free. Generally, with different distros, so distributions, so you have the Red Hat family, Fedora family, and Ubuntu, and one other I'm blanking out on, but you have all these families. Some of them might require you to purchase the OS, but it will be a small fee in comparison to what Windows or Apple would charge, or I should say Mac OS would charge. So yes, generally 90% of all Linux distros are free. What, if any, trouble can someone get into if they choose to share, gift, or sell a Linux distro? Well, since Linux is an open source, meaning anybody can go in and they can pretty much create any environment in which they want, no, they're not usually going to get into trouble. I mean, there are plenty of distributions for distros for Linux online, and you can find those. I mean, you can just type in Linux distros list, and it'll give you a whole bunch of different distributions. But as far as selling distros, you yourself, no, you shouldn't get in trouble. Since it is open source, once you have it, you can put it on any machine you want, as far as my understanding of it. I wouldn't quote me on that, but no, you shouldn't get in trouble for using something that is an open source, hence the name open source. Are there any requirements? Some modern environments will require you to have at least an updated computer, so hardware is going to be needed to be updated if you have an older machine. But usually you can run any distros on any machine generally. Sorry I keep scratching my eye. I pet a cat, and no, my eye is itchy. I'm allergic to cats, and I can't stop scratching it because it itches. So, what do you think of the open source model? I love it. I absolutely love it, because each distribution that you can get, whether it be from Deepin's, Debian, or anything from Ubuntu on, it's kind of like pick your own OS. So there isn't a steep learning curve. So if you're going from Windows OS to a Mac, those are two different, right? Well, there is a pretty steep learning curve when it comes to switching from one to the other, as it should be, as they're two completely different things. And I am running over my time by a lot, so I will wrap this up. Yes, I think the open source is amazing. I love it. I don't use it just because I'm fairly comfortable using Windows, so it hasn't really brought any new material to me. Anything that's worthwhile for me, I just do basic stuff, and basic stuff is what I get.